talk about, okay, you know how last time we were here, we were talking about relationships and splitting and, when to end toxic relationships. What I wanted to talk about was a lot of people don't consider in a breakup when there are children involved, that children do play a major role in that relationship and in that breakup. And even their feelings and how you deal with them and how you, explain what is going on, it can really affect children. So for me, I had a very, very, very rough time dealing with that this week because I'm very protective over my son. So when somebody says something to me, and like in my head, I throw all the tantrums that I want, which is why I'm saying I don't respect this young lady's choice of picture, Instagram, whatever it is. It's just like, you're entitled to your tantrum or your feelings. I heard it, processed it, and then you discuss it. People, when they break up, they tend to think that children's feelings either don't matter, or they're too young to understand what's going on, or stay in a child's place is none of your business. But if you are inviting them into your relationship, the breakup is is all of their business, because now they've created a bond, and started forming friendships and attachments and all kinds of things with people that you're just gonna take away, and the kid's gonna be left looking like, now what?
Yeah.
So,
especially if they've been around for
a long time,
a good period of time,
yeah. Especially if you have someone that raising your child with you or doing family things with you. It's just be more. I hear it all the time when people say, "Oh, well, children don't have any say in what's going on in my relationship." It's a lie, because if my son doesn't like you, I can't deal with you, and if he does like you, I can't just leave as quickly or as easily as I would do someone that he didn't care about. So, I just want it's very difficult to watch kids deal with situations like that, because then they can have a lot of psychological, like sleepwalking can become a problem, urinating in the bed can become a problem, acting out in school can become a problem, because these kids have no outlet. They can't come to you, they might not feel comfortable enough coming to you to tell you, well, I like this guy, what happened? So that's just my.
A lot of kids keep quiet. I remember a lot of things I didn't say that happened to me when I was younger. And then if I would tell my parents, like when I got older, if I would tell my mom, she'll be like, "Why didn't you tell me when you was younger, when it happened?"
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't think about it. It happened over there, like at school, wherever, and then I didn't bring it home. I didn't say anything. So I could see a kid just holding it in, and that could be a lot of. Anyone could be depressed. A young kid could be depressed.
Kid can be depressed too.
So, understand, like, they're going through it too. Don't just ignore it or be naive to it, be in denial.
And a lot of the signs that kids are dealing with things, like I said, sleepwalking is not as common. People 12, 13 urinating in the bed is not as common. But if you see someone who was was very quiet, friendly, loving, and all of a sudden they're just reserved now, they don't really want to deal, you have to start asking questions. Like when I deal with my sister and my son, it's the very same way. I don't make anyone feel like there's a favorite, or they're both my kids, whether it's my sister and whatever, like you both are my babies, but I need everyone to communicate. I don't deal with liars. I don't want you to think that it's okay to lie for me to spare my feelings, or don't lie, period. Speak up and use your words, communicate, tell me how you're feeling, tell me what's going on in your head, because I can't tell you what's going on with you. I don't want to assume what's going on with you. You get more from children by treating them like they're human and letting them use their brain and make decisions.
So what are you doing about this situation?
Right now it's just a conversation that has to happen. Like, I'm not ready for it, but the birds and the bees conversation has to happen. Not even just for like the sexual part of it, but just like
to say the birds and the bees. What's going on?
It's two different age groups. Like my sister's 13, my son is 7. I don't want to have this conversation 40 times, but I don't want to have it where it's too reserved for one or too advanced for the other one. So it's just like we're gonna have birds and the bees in relationships, not sexually or anything like that. Like this is what guys and girls do when they are feeling.
So you're gonna use the birds and the bees to talk about your situation.
Just to talk. I don't want to talk about my situation, because my situation is very complicated. It's just I want to use the birds and the bees to just introduce.
Explain.
What are you feeling? I don't want to tell you about what I went through, and what your dad went through, and what your mom went through, and this is what is supposed to happen. At some point in your life, you're going to start feeling certain feelings, and this is what's supposed to happen. Now, you tell me which stage are you in, and we'll talk about that. Where I'm not giving you any more than you need, because you might not even need to hear what I'm saying. This might just be something that I need to let fall to the wayside.
You're right.
Instead of just saying, oh, well, he's a kid and I'm just going to, let's talk about this.
But you know what? I feel like for my future children, I already know in my head. I won't wait. I already know in my head what age I feel like it's appropriate to let them know what I need to let them know. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to, so maybe you should just go ahead and say what you have to say to them.
Beginning.
Before I even ask them, like, how are you feeling? Just let them know.
That's just scary. I don't want to have that conversation. I'm just not
You
ready
have
to. No, I wasn't ready for it. I really wasn't ready for it. But, I mean, it's hard. Kids are way smarter than people give them credit for. They understand way more than people give them credit for. And talking to them is very easy if you give them the tools and the words and you teach them to communicate. So it shouldn't be as hard as I'm making it, but there is going to be a male there to take some of that tension off.
So do we have a mystery topic?